Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you something pretty simple. We're going to be changing out the battery ends on this 2001 Jeep Cherokee. As you can probably see here, the ends are just very beat. They don't fit correctly. They're just real loose. You tighten them all the way and it does nothing for you. So first thing we got to do is get a socket for the nuts here and take these old battery cable ends off. On some of the cars, if the battery terminals have never been taken off, then you might have to chop it off or cut the metal that is crimped onto the wires and take that off. So here we're going to just use a socket. So you take that off and just slide it on out, and you can see that there's quite a bit of corrosion on these. So here are the battery terminal connectors, and so these are going to be trashed. Right, so now we're going to look at the wire on the battery cables. These have some rust and some corrosion, and they're just kind of just frayed. So we're going to try to just straighten them. They're all straightened out. You could tell that there's some corrosion, like I was saying. We're going to need to clean the corrosion first. This one has a little bit as well. It's a little bit green. I don't know if the camera could pick it up, but gonna need to clean that corrosion first. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that right now. So we're gonna need to make a solution to clean the wires or the cables here. Gonna need some table salt. Let me just open it on up because you're gonna need quite a bit. So a little bit of table salt up in there. That's just filling up the bottom. That's just a cooking cup. There's a little bit of rice in there, but it doesn't really matter. There's a little bit of salt in there. And now I'm gonna fill it up with some distilled white vinegar. So that's filled on up there. And we're just gonna dip the wires on in here and let them sit for a couple of minutes. Alright, now I'm just gonna let the wires sit in there for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll check up back on them. I don't know if you guys can tell, there's like a greenish looking color coming off of them already. Kind of shake them a little bit, some of that will start to come off. So the wires have been cleaned up and they're dried. This was the only one I did not put in because it's still pretty clean. So now I'm going to be putting some dielectric grease because it has nothing on it. I stripped the copper down in order to clean it. So I'm going to put some dielectric grease to protect it, and then we'll put on the connectors. Here's the dielectric grease that you could get. They also sell it in little packets, but you're just going to get you some here and move the wire around without kind of tangling it up, and just really push the dielectric grease all up in there in order to try to get every wire. If you don't do this, you'll just be covering the outside, and then the inside could get corrosion. So just kind of move it all around and really get it in there. Right, so now the wires have dielectric grease on them. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a twist here, or just keep them together. And here's the new connector, battery terminal connector. Both of these grounds gotta be in here. I'm just going to cut this one just a little bit here, just on the end. Alright, now so just go ahead and put the ends on in. So there that goes, and just stick out just a little bit. You don't want it overhang. Alright, and so there we are right there. Let me go ahead and do the power cable. Last thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of electrical tape on this wire, just because I believe my dad had taken it back a little bit because of some of the corrosion. Well, I'm just going to cover it on up and try to cover up the power wire as well, because it looks like it's been cut back also. So I do have some Scotch Super 88 vinyl electrical tape, and pretty much that's what I've been using for quite a while. Guys, so there it is. The battery post, the cable ends are all connected onto the battery. They're nice and tight on there. They tighten on up. Before it was having an issue. Whenever turning the key to start it, you'll just hear a click and everything would disconnect. All the lights would turn off, and just have to mess with the battery cables and try to get it to connect onto the battery. So now not gonna have that issue, which was really annoying, and so gonna have a good start every time I turn that key. Let me know if you guys have any questions. As always, like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.